So we were discussing base bias with emitter feedback, and we have discussed up to its stabilization of Q point after calculating the coordinates of the operating point. So now we will find the stability factor. So in the general expression of the stability factor, we have derived that this stability factor S, initially according to the definition, it was equal to the ratio of change in collector current to the change in leakage current. But then we derived the general expression of stability factor, and that was in common emitter configuration, because we are using all the transistors in common emitter configuration in case of transistor biasing because of its large current gain. So we have solved this, and it was equal to beta plus 1 upon 1 minus beta rate of change of base current with collector current. This was the general expression of stability factor S. So now we will find the value of stability factor. As in the case of fixed biasing, base biasing, stability factor S was beta plus 1, which was very high. Now we will see that in this case, stability factor is smaller or higher than the previous value. So for that, we need to find the value of this dIB by dIC. And we know that we will find the value of IB in case of input circuit. So we will use the equation of Kirchhoff voltage law in case of input circuit. And that equation was this. VCC, it is equal to IBRB plus VBE plus IERE. This is the equation of input circuit when we have applied Kirchhoff voltage law to it. So, according to the equation, always this dIB by dIC, it will be calculated from the equation of input circuit. We have VCC is equal to IBRB plus VBE plus IERE. And we know that this IE, it is equal to IB plus IC. So put this value in this equation. Then we get VCC is equal to IBRB plus VBE plus IB plus ICRE. Next step, open this bracket. It will be VCC is equal to IBRB plus VBE plus IBRE plus ICRE. And we have to find the value of dIB by dIC. How? Differentiate this equation with respect to IC on both sides. Differentiate above equation with respect to IC. What we will get? VCC is constant throughout the use, so its differentiation with respect to IC will be 0. RB is constant, fixed throughout the use, so it will be RB dIB by dIC. Plus again this VB is fixed for any transistor, so again it will be 0. Differentiation of a fixed quantity or the constant quantity is always 0. Plus again this RE will be fixed throughout the use. So differentiation of IB, it will be dIB by dIC. Plus RE is fixed. Differentiation of IC with respect to IC, it will be 1. So now find the value of dIB by DIC. For that, move this plus RE to this side, it will be minus RE. And on right hand side, we have dIB by DIC common. And inside the bracket, we have RB plus RE. So what will be the value of dIB by DIC? It will be minus RE upon RB plus RE. So this is the value of rate of change of base current with the collector current. Now put this value in the equation of stability factor, which we have mentioned as 1. So put that value here. So put this value in equation 1. What you will get? So put the value, it will be beta plus 1 upon 1 minus beta minus RE upon RB plus RE. Now this minus and minus will be plus. So we have S is equal to beta plus 1 upon 1 plus beta RE upon RB plus RE. So this value, it will be less than beta plus 1. So it means stability factor in this case, it is less than the stability factor in case of fixed biasing. So therefore this base bias with emitter feedback, this circuit, it is more stable than the fixed biasing. So which is smaller than S for fixed biasing. Therefore, base bias with emitter feedback, base bias with emitter feedback has more stable operating point or Q point than fixed bias or base bias. Next thing is advantages. Advantages are, first advantage is this, which we have just discussed, that it has more stable operating point than the previous case. So more stable Q point or operating point. Second advantage is because it requires only transistor and resistances. So the circuit is quite simple. The circuit is quite simple. Why? Because it only uses 3 resistances apart from transistor. One is RB, RC and RE. You will also have to write the circuit is quite simple because it only uses resistances RC, RB and RC. RC, RB and RE. And third one is this resistor RE, because of the high voltage drop across this RE, IE-RE factor increases, which I have already told you. Because of that, IB-RB factor decreases. It means IB decreases. And because of the decrease in IB, that will compensate the increase in leakage current. So the collector current will not raise to a dangerous value and thermal runaway of the transistor will be avoided in this case. So third is the collector current, it does not raise to dangerous value because of the presence of Re. How? You have to know its reason, because across Re voltage drop will increase. Now Re is fixed. If voltage drop across Re increases, it means IE increases. If IE increases, then IB will decrease according to this equation. If with increase in temperature, collector current will increase, then emitter current will also increase. If emitter current increases, it means this factor will increase. This is constant, this is constant, this RB is constant. It means this, if this is increasing, this IB will decrease, and that will decrease this overall factor. And if IB decreases, then beta IB will decrease the value of collector current, and that decrease in the value of collector current, that will compensate the increase in the value of collector current because of increase in leakage current, which is due to the increase in temperature. Next, we will talk about its disadvantages. So we have studied that this method, it provides some stabilization to the Q point, but still it is not very much used practically. Why? We know that we have derived the expression for its collector current, and the expression comes out to be VCC minus VBE divided by RE plus RB upon beta. This was the expression which we have derived for collector current. So this collector current, it must not change with this beta. Why? Because when you will change the transistor, replace the transistor by some another transistor, that beta value will change. If beta will change, then IC will change. That will change your operating point. So what we have to do is, we have to make this IC independent of beta. So to make IC independent of beta, what are the two possibilities? There are two possibilities. There are two possibilities. And what are they? See the denominator. This IC, it will be independent of this beta if this RE, it is made very much greater than this RB by beta, that we can ignore this RB by beta. So first possibility is, if RE is made very much greater than this RB by beta, then this IC, it will be independent of this factor, because we can ignore this factor then. But there is one drawback. What is that drawback? That we cannot make this RE as large as we can, but we cannot make this RE very large. Why? Because if you will use high value of Re, then this IE-RE factor, it will increase to a very large value. And if this IE-RE increases, it means you need high value of VCC, power supply. Why? See this equation. If this factor, it is increasing beyond some value, it means the sum of these three quantities, it is equal to VCC. It means this VCC must be high. So for that you have to use, then you have to use high value of power supply this. Or the second possibility is made this RB very small as compared to RE. Second thing is, if this RB, it is very, very small or low, then in that case, if RB will be small, then RB by beta, it will be very small, and you can ignore this factor as compared to RE. But in this case, again, we have one disadvantage, one drawback, and what is that? We cannot make this RB very small. Why? Because in that case, this IB-RB factor, it will decrease to very low value, and for that, we need low value of VCC. And for low value of RB, we require low value of power supply. It means we have to use separate power supplies. In this case, we need high. In this case, we need low. And during its use, this power supply VCC, it is neither very low nor very high. And here in the method of transistor biasing, we cannot use two separate power supplies. So that is why this method is not used. This implies we require separate power supplies. So how we require separate power supplies? Because in this case, when we have made this RE very much greater than RB by beta, then this IE-RE factor, it increases, and when you apply Kirchhoff voltage law to the output circuit, the power supply VCC, it is reverse biasing the output circuit. It means if the voltage drop across this IE-RE, it increases, so you will need high value of VCC to reverse bias the output circuit, but low value of VCC to forward bias the base emitter junction in this case. So that is why you need to separate power supplies, but that is not possible. So this method is also rarely used. And in the next lecture, we will discuss our next method, that is collector to base bias.